Thanks, guys.
Yeah. RisingStorm.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi.
This is Nestor, and can you tell us a bit about yourself and your project and your position within your project, RisingStorm?
Sure. Yeah, my name's Tony Gillham, and I'm known on the forums as Nestor Makhno. And my actual position title is the producer of RisingStorm, which means that my job is to coordinate the production and recruitment of people for the team to produce additional content for Red Orchestra Heroes of Stalingrad, and also to produce it within a timely basis, sometime not too far after Heroes of Stalingrad comes out, so that the community are going to have some extra goodies. The people that love Heroes of Stalingrad, and there will be many people that do that, have a chance to take it to another theatre within a good time frame of the original game coming out. So at the moment my job is mostly recruiting and also publicity, generating a little bit of buzz around the game and around this idea, because it is such a novel idea to engage modders, to engage people that love the game in production of content like this, particularly so early on. So you know, it's a great job.
One of the hard things generally, or things that are discussed a lot in the forums, is a possibility of the game being released as DLC, and I guess you all want it because it will be released as a paid add-on pretty much if it is successful and well up to standards.
I think the only thing I can say about that is that whatever we release, if it's not absolutely great, then I haven't been doing my job correctly. Now, as for how it's going to be released, the method of its release, that isn't down to me. That is down to Tripwire, and that is down to them to decide. But certainly, my goal is to make it good enough for that.
But let's now assume that it will be released as a separate entity.
Right.
In what ways, for the community, it might not be an issue. You could, for instance, have a server browser together and you just join servers. But often for clanning sites, it becomes a big issue. For instance, if you look at the Battlefield games, no of the add-ons, no of those kind of things generally cut on with the clanning community. In what way will the Pacific offer a game that can be adopted by the clanning community? In what way does it really differ from the basic Heroes of Stalingrad, besides its theatre?
Well, obviously, one of the things, given the team that we have, is again, it's down to me to ensure that we bring something extra in terms of gameplay, in terms of some of the features, which I can't really discuss too much about right now. But obviously, the aim is that we bring something more than just a different theatre. That's the whole point. I mean, that's what we've seen with the other mods for Red Orchestra. We've seen, for example, in Carpathian Crosses, we saw the introduction of mortars. With Darkest Hour, we saw the introduction of suppression and various other features like that. So clearly, as additional content, you're expected to do that. You're not expected just to give guys new uniforms, basically, and to stick a few palm trees around.
In what way do you have that freedom? Is there no such thing as that your game needs to stay really close in some ways, like feeling and control? Or is there, because for instance suppression in Darkest Hour feels completely different than in Red Orchestra, and there are some other things that do not feel like additional features so much as really something that changes the way a game feels and makes it like perhaps not really brings it off to a different level.
Well, I think that I guess it's up to you to decide whether it changes the feel or not. I mean, basically it is just an extra feature, and it's an extra feature which you're glad to bring to people. You say, hey, this is cool, look, we've managed to do this, aren't we smart? And we hope you like it. But as for whether that's designed to be a sort of like a paradigm shift in the game, I wouldn't say so. I'd say that basically what we do, for example, with Heroes of Stalingrad, is we don't try and fix something that's not broken, and we say, yeah, this stuff was cool, so's this stuff as well, and you know, we're going to bring this to you, because I think the idea is that, particularly with having this kind of close release date, is that the community basically feel the love. You know, you keep your community happy, and I think that's a very big thing. I mean, I don't know if you would, if you could imagine the guy responsible for bringing Call of Duty sitting here and doing an interview with you about this kind of thing. You know, it's about the community, and that, you know, that feeds back, because you've got, for example, one of the things I found through the recruitment process for RisingStorm is that there are some really, really smart guys out there who are really committed to Red Orchestra and really committed to this project, because they like the way that they get treated by Tripwire. Basically, it makes my job actually really easy when it comes to recruitment. If I say, oh yeah, by the way, Tripwire are behind this, and Tripwire are fully behind this, then it makes recruitment a very, very easy job. It makes finding good guys hardly difficult at all.
How important is clan gaming and clans in general for the RisingStorm dev team?
Well, I think it's exactly the same as it is for Heroes of Stalingrad. One of the things John hasn't mentioned too much was the campaign games. But I think that if you're in a clan, you need to find people who like multiplayer, who like working together as a team. And I would say that if you're a clan and you're running a multiplayer campaign on your server, then you're going to find people are going to come to the fore, the guys who stick around for the multiplayer campaigns, of course, in and out. And these are the guys you're going to be thinking, hey, he seems to play quite well with the rest of us, he seems to interact with us. And that's generally how you find clan members. You put up a couple of games on the server, the guys that stick around, that are communicating well, with the rest of their team, and that they're normally the guys who say, hey, do you want to join our clan? And I would say that the campaign game particularly is going to help you to identify your recruits. It's going to help you to find the guys who are going to keep the clan going.
How far is the team into recruiting? Is the team pretty much filled up, and is everything closed down? Or
it's not all closed down. There are still things open. I mean, we've got some guys who, quite frankly, I can't believe our luck, really. Some of the guys we've got, I'm just in awe of what they can do. And I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be that long before you start seeing some very, very nice eye candy. That's pretty much a guarantee there. We've still got a few positions we need to fill, because obviously we don't need everybody at the same time. Some guys we need from the get-go. Some guys we need to get in. We can keep them busy until we have more for them to do, and so on. It's a matter of man management. I mean, that's basically what my job is. You know, my job isn't to have any a special talent in producing maps or in producing anything. My job is to make sure that the talent has stuff to do and they're all working towards it. And you know, so far it's going quite well. It's going quite well. People are stepping up to the responsibilities that they get very well.
Since Heroes of Stalingrad will see a return of Danzig and another map, will we see perhaps some old maps or specific types of maps back from Ostrom, perhaps the mod or any of the other mods, into of course in a different shape and form because of RisingStorm, but will we see things come back?
You mean like a reimagining of a Red Orchestra map? Well, I mean, as you probably know, we've got guys from all over the place, but in particular for our level design team, we've got guys that are famous throughout Red Orchestra for their maps. I mean, as you probably know, we've got Daskama, who is responsible for my favourite map in Red Orchestra, which is Basov. We've got Xendans, we've got Johnny, who was Smolensk's Stalemate. We've got Drex, who you all know, I mean, we all know and love Zetsumei and stuff like that. So, particularly for the level designers, and the lead level designer is Mark Dittman, Slick. So, particularly from the level design, you're going to find a lot of, if you like, kind of familiar style in terms of how they approach a map. But there's just such a, if you like, there's just such an expanded toolkit now for the level designers, I mean, they've got a whole